Chock Chapple proposed to Joan Vassos at the end of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, and she accepted his proposal, but did she pick the right man? Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, please subscribe and keep watching for more details. The Golden Bachelorette's Joan Vassos gave her final rose to Chock Chapple, but several men on her season would have been a better fit. The 61-year-old Joan made her television debut during Jerry Turner's season of The Golden Bachelor but had to leave early due to a family emergency. Instead of closing the book on her journey, Joan wrote a whole new chapter by agreeing to be The Bachelor spin-off's first female lead. Long before looking for love on national television, Joan was married to Joan Vassos for 32 years until he died in 2021. She continued to struggle with the loss, but she had promised her late husband that she wouldn't spend the rest of her life all alone. Joan kicked off the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 by welcoming 24 highly eligible older bachelors, including 60-year-old Chock. The insurance executive from Kansas must have left quite an impression on Joan that night because he received her first solo date. Chock and Joan spent a romantic day at Disneyland together, and Chock was a clear frontrunner throughout the season. After sending home all the other men, Joan gave Chock her final rose, and he gave her a sparkling diamond engagement ring. Since getting engaged, Joan and Chock have been flying high on the wings of new love, but several other men may have been a better fit for Joan. 65-year-old Gary is a retired finance executive who hails from Palm Desert, California. One interesting fact about Gary is he's the godson of legendary musician Tina Turner and shares his godmother's love of music. Not only does Gary have a beautiful singing voice, but he can dance too. The outgoing Gary showed off his dance moves during the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, and Joan was blown away by his fun personality. During a group date to the prom, Joan and several men, including Gary, got all dressed up and danced up a storm to a performance by the 1990s pop icon Taylor Dayne. Gary was a great communicator and one of the most gregarious men to participate in Joan's season, and maybe with more time, he could have won her heart. Though Joan seems happy with Chock, she could come to regret not giving Gary more of a chance. Jack was a 68-year-old caterer from Chicago, Illinois, before joining the cast of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1. Jack is a big Elvis Presley fan who's proud he attended the late star's final live concert in Chicago. The fun-loving Jack stood out as quite the character during the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, despite not sharing a romantic spark with Joan. Jack loved to cook, and he took advantage of the chef's kitchen at the Bachelor Mansion to cook Joan an elaborate dinner. Joan's other men loved Jack, who was always good for a laugh. Jack was eliminated, but not before he did multiple cannonballs in the Bachelor Mansion's pool. Joan may only have eyes for Chock, but she may have shared more laughs with Jack. She'd certainly never be bored. Pascal Igwe was a 69-year-old luxury salon owner from Chicago, Illinois, who broke Joan's heart. Long before appearing on the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, Pascal was originally from France, and Joan was charmed by his accent, style, and joie de vivre. After traveling to Chicago to meet Pascal's family and spend time in his salon, she gave him one of the final 3 roses. When a symbolic bonding activity made Pascal question his commitment to Joan, he panicked. In a scene posted to YouTube by Bachelor Nation, Pascal told Joan that he could never love her as anything other than a friend, and he eliminated himself from the show. Joan was devastated and may come to miss the connection she had with Pascal. 61-year-old Keith Gordon stood out from the other men of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 from the moment he arrived on night 1. Foregoing the usual limousine entrance, Keith pulled up in a classic car and stepped out to meet Joan with a huge grin. That night, Keith not only received Joan's first impression rose, but he also got her first kiss of the season. Joan, the mother of 4 adult children, promised her children that she wouldn't kiss too many men. Joan said Keith made her feel safe and protected, reminding her of the way her late husband made her feel. Getting Joan's first rose is one thing, but getting her last rose is another thing entirely. When her initial connection with Keith didn't deepen, Joan sent Keith home, but maybe he just needed a little more time to wow her. Mark Anderson, a 58-year-old retired Army veteran from Leesville, Louisiana, was a familiar face when he joined the cast of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1. Mark made his television debut during The Bachelor Season 28, when his daughter, Kelsey Anderson, brought her now fiancé, Joey Graziadei, home for her hometown visit. Mark's warm, sensitive nature and rugged good looks made him an instant fan favorite, and it's no surprise he was cast in the Golden Bachelorette. Though Joan seemed to like Mark, she sent him home after a painfully awkward solo date. Mark seemed to really like Joan, so he was shy whenever he was around her. Mark couldn't show Joan his real personality. Jordan, a 61-year-old sales manager from Chicago, Illinois, described himself as an old-fashioned man who missed the simple things in life. Jordan stood out to Joan during the big group date to the prom, and it was revealed he once dated Taylor Dayne, who was coincidentally performing for them during that group date. Joan even visited Jordan's hometown and met his family, hoping he'd open up and let her in. When Jordan couldn't let his walls down, Joan sent him home in 4th place. Some people need more time than others to open up, and sadly, those people don't get far on reality television dating shows, where people have to bond quickly. 66-year-old Guy Gansert is an emergency room physician who hails from Reno, Nevada. When not saving lives, Guy has the heart of an adventurer and even plans to hike Mount Kilimanjaro soon. Aside from being an attractive doctor with an adventurous streak, Guy appeared to be a genuinely kind person. During an episode of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, he used his medical knowledge and bedside manner to help fellow contestant Charles Ling find some closure regarding the sudden death of his wife. When another contestant, Kim Bike, wanted to sing a group song he wrote for Joan, all the other men refused, but Guy agreed to sing with him. Guy didn't win Joan's love, as she sent him home in 2nd place, but she may come to miss having a doctor in the house. Jonathan Roan, a 61-year-old shipping consultant from Oakland, Iowa, was really into health and fitness. There was even a time in his life when he considered being a bodybuilder. Joan was instantly attracted to the tall, handsome Jonathan, and the two had serious chemistry from the moment they met. Jonathan stood out to Joan during the prom group date, but Joan ultimately sent Jonathan home. Since leaving the show, Jonathan entered into a committed relationship, so Joan lost out on the opportunity forever. The Golden Bachelorette Season 1 ended with Joan and Chock getting engaged, but Joan missed out on a lot of great men, including Jonathan.